Hello, LegendAqua here, back in what is might as well be called a new series for me, which is called Gacha Consultant, which is basically me telling you guys how to save up in certain mobile games that I'm playing. In the second episode, obviously it's about Idolmaster Cinderella Girl Starlight Stage, which is also my longest playing mobile game ever. And obviously, I've done this for a long time because I've saved and just got certain characters through Spark, and yeah, I know my way around. So quite obviously, the first thing I'll be telling you guys, just like how I did about my Fate Grand Order video, would be how to get gems. Well, before even starting off with that, it'll be obviously you'll need to stabilize your account, right? Unlike Fate Grand Order, Deresute is actually very easy on that, because as long as you get like even one SSR or even one SR, because heck, even some of the event SRs can stabilize your account very, very quickly, because all you need is just 5 units, maybe just one healer, and then just start playing songs. Because Deresute is a rhythm game, stabilizing your account as a beginner is actually pretty easy. So because of that, you can actually just start saving almost immediately if you can. So, with that, now becomes like, once you've stabilized your account, what's the next thing you need to do? And trying to save, obviously, the first thing would be, like, one of the forms of generating gems is through awakening cards that you've got. Unfortunately, these cards do not give you any gems at all. They only give you frame points, that's it. So these rare cards, they only go for frame points. So if you don't have frame points, you can awaken them if you want to. The SRs, however, like these ones, be it from the gacha or from the events, these one nets you 50 just by awakening them. So say I can just go and go here, and then just say, which one should I go for? This one. Actually, not that one. Let's go with, which one should I awaken up? Let's awaken this one up. So it's a blue, so I can awaken them easily. Obviously, I've grinded and saved all my materials a lot, so I can just do this as I please, to be honest. So, max affection. And then, thankfully, since there's some quality of life changes, as soon as you've maxed up an affection, press the right button. It'll take you straight to awakening them. Obviously, you need these items to awaken. Obviously, since I've grinded and hoarded all my mat for a very long time, I can just do this as much as I want. So, they get awakened. You get their awaken art, and then it goes to their story about them having the awaken art. Yeah, so it goes in progression for this kind of stuff. And quite obviously, you can kind of see that there is some time management you need to do if you are grinding these gems out through awakening them as well. Because maxing their affection and then awakening them, it's an entire process in itself. It's not that bad, but try and do it multiple times, it's going to wear on you a lot, not to mention a lot of loading. A lot of loading. So, just go through their awakening story. You can just skip it if you want. I'm just going through it. So you just go through it, and then you get if it'll show up. If it'll show up. Please finish loading. 50. So it's not that bad. So that's one way you can do it. Obviously for beginners, if you just go through the gacha and everything, you're going to get a lot of new gacha SRs or SSRs. So you can profit off them and just get more gems that way. So that's actually not that bad. The next thing would be, if you've gone through events, go to this one, and it shows up every single event story. They're all stored here, it's all permanent. As you can see here, I've obviously gone through a lot myself. So, every event's gem denomination is kind of different, but it mostly adds up to about the same amount. So, for Cinderella Road here, it's about, let's see, it's 25 each for these ones. So 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, and then repeat again. So 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. That would be 250 each. 250 each for just a Cinderella Road event. A Groove Burst would be, since that's 50, excluding that, actually including that one, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by 50 is 350. And then Live Infinity is also basically the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another 300. And Live Parade is also the same thing, but sometimes some events do give you a bit more, but these ones only give you about 25 each. So in total, extra 50 with that. So with all these events, you can actually, in my case, like why am I keep on saying you, meaning that I have not, you know, gone through all these events and gotten all these gems myself. Why haven't I done that yet? One, like for me, it's a different case because I've been obviously hoarding and saving. The hoarding and saving also counts towards my event gems. So in other words, just in case, if a surprise happens, it will mean I need to then, using all my event gems and non-awakened SRs and SSRs, I do that to collect the remaining gems that I'm missing. It can work like that because it does not mean, like me saying that I have 41k. I'm not saying I have 41k because that's beyond the point, because of all the events I've done and all the unawakened SRs and SSRs I've done. I already predict that I've got roughly 55k plus at the moment. Like, because I haven't grinded out gems that I have yet, and it helps me out with that. Because of this, it's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. The problem with saving, especially for me, for this one, comes in at what the spark range is. And I haven't told you this for a good reason. And yeah, this is where it gets a little bit tough for anybody who's not a major fan of the Idolmaster series, because this is where the dedication comes in, let's say. So, as you can clearly see, it's temples for 2,500. So, what's the spark range? If you remember my Fate Grand Order video, I said, oh, Deresute is 30 multis for a spark. So, let's just type that in, shall we? 2,500 times 30. You need to make 75k in order to get a single spark. And the denominations towards what you get through events and stories and awakening SRs and SSRs and doing these stories as well is denomination of 25 to 50. In other words, you would need to make, if it's in denomination of 50, because 50 is the most common, you would need to do this 1,500 times on 50 gems consistently in order for you to get to Spark. Obviously, I'm missing some details, mainly in the login campaigns and the lottery campaigns and the anniversary campaigns as well. But if you want a limited SSR of your favorite character in Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, yes, you would need to get to 75k. That's the biggest hurdle. This is the main reason why I can't exactly do a lot of content slash gacha pulls in this game, because grinding and saving takes so long. At worst, it took me a year. At my best, it took me about 6 months. Yeah, 6 to 8 months to be honest, but you get my point. It is rough. It is very rough. Thankfully, there are some additions they've added, which I actually do like. Namely in the form of this, which is what they call permanent memorial banners, in which they add in, basically, so this banner is tied in with this currency, which they call rainbow moons. So basically, with this, it's permanent, like I meant it by it's a permanent memorial banner. In other words, if you spend your free pulls in this banner, it stays like this. Even after the next banner goes away, this banner, with the amount of rainbow moons you've got, it stays there. Always. Until you've actually spent your permanent spark. So what is your permanent spark used for? Basically, master units that have their first SSRs, maybe their second limbs out, and they get put into this pool, because the major and one of the, there's one bad thing I will say about Deresute's gacha pulling beyond getting to Spark is the fact that the SSR bloat in this game, it is absolutely horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. If there wasn't an SSR bloat, it actually wouldn't be that bad. But this is why, for me, myself, I have to Spark. I have to Spark. It is horrendous sometimes. But, so, with the permanent master units pull, you can basically get some of the characters that you want from this pull. It's permanent, so as soon as you reach 300 pulls, be it through free multis or not, you can do that. You can absolutely do that. Thankfully, a lot of Deresute's free pulls can either be from just 1 multi to 2 multis to sometimes even 20 consecutive days. So in other words, if you add up 20 consecutive days worth of free pulls and you pull on this banner alone, and then you wait a little bit longer and wait for another campaign to show up that has 10 free pulls, well, guess what? Using that, you basically get a free SSR that you want. Pretty good. Pretty good in that case. The only other thing I will note, because in my situation, it's actually not that bad, because a lot of my favorite characters, though are popular characters, my favorite character, however, gets her time in her limelight, give or take once or twice a year. And because of that, it makes it a little bit easier for me to actually save up and then spark when I need to, or predict when she's going to show up, and then I can just save for the next time onwards. This is why I've been doing it for like, I've been playing for about 8 years now, but I've been doing this system of saving and then sparking for, I'm gonna say, Maki no Yagami's SSRs whenever the new one shows up or not. I do that basically yearly for about 4 years in a row now. I'm being serious, about 4 years in a row I've been doing it like this, and it's been working out a lot. The downside is for anybody who are like fans of more popular characters, obviously one of the easiest ones being like Mika, if she'll load, Kanade, and Kaede, yeah, she was just a little bit low. Because they're more popular characters, those units or those characters release more SSRs often. I believe, like, for the Master collections, some characters have their 7th SSRs out. Mike only has her 4th one out, but you know what I'm trying to say with this. Because of this, the more popular the characters are, the more you have to spend on your favorite characters. So you get the dilemma if you are fans of certain characters. For me, it's actually working out quite well because of me basically being a huge fan of Makino, so because of that, it helps me a lot. However, if you're fans of more popular characters, good luck to you. So, yeah, there are obviously other ways of helping you to reduce the count of getting to Spark, as I said, with logins, with free pulls, and with just like anniversary, lotteries, all that stuff. It helps out a bunch. Also, I will note one last thing, which is they do bring out solo tickets. They've implemented this a bit ago, but these tickets are basically free solo pulls, and there's 3, I believe, every month. So in other words, 3 every month, and they're free. It's equal to about 750 gems if you do that. So if you hoard those enough, that's actually quite decent. Because currently mine is at 9,250 that I saved up in tickets alone, which is why I was saying if you add up the 9,250 with the 41,070 gems that I've stored up, 50k. But obviously I'm predicting if I add in all my event gems and all my unawakened SRs and SSR gems in there, it could total well over 6,000, maybe even more. In my opinion, maybe be 60k if I'm very lucky. But yeah, beyond that, yeah, that's how you basically save in Deresute's Idolmaster Starlight stage. It is rough, but in my opinion, it's perfectly worth it. In my opinion, I've been doing this for years. It's why you don't see many videos of me doing Idolmaster in the first place, because of this. But yeah, there you go. That's the idol hell I have to get through just to get my favorite characters' SSRs. But yeah, comment below what you think about Deresute's sparking system, as well as, you know, basically how you're going to grind in this game if you're interested, and let me know. So yeah, with that, that'll do it for me. LA out.